Saturday! You know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, November 20th, 2021. I am, of course, DJ Storms. As y'all already know, let's check the chat, shall we? Check the chat. We got Peanuts, we got Adam Carl, we got Rob Wells Jr. Small amount of people so far, but I think that we can get some more people in here as time goes on. We got Ryan Renegade. The one true Renegade, Ryan Renegade, whatever you call yourself. I am very, very happy to see you here. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic to see you here. We got Blaze Radio as well. You're damn right. I'm going to do that intro, Blazed Radio. I mean, come on. Do you expect anything left or less, rather? I don't know why I said left. I mean, I have a lot left in the tank, don't get me wrong. But anyway. We have a lot to talk about. As you can see by the thumbnail, and as you can see by the title of the video, we have a lot to talk about. I am not particularly in a good mood when it comes to talking about the WWE. My voice might be shot by the end of this. But for the most part, I'm somewhat calm. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up having a fucking stomach ulcer because of what's going on with the WWE right now and the fact that there's Survivor Series tomorrow with no build. Again, a lot of people might not know that there's Survivor Series tomorrow because there's been no fucking build. But I apologize that I had to push the stream back a little bit. I had a dentist appointment, and yes, indeed, I got teeth that'll make Kevin Dunn jealous. I've been told by my dentist that I got the perfect teeth. I take good care of my teeth. I already see some people saying that Charlotte Flair calling Becky unnatural is so ironic. Tell me about it, Rob. Tell me about it. But let me tell you something. We got a lot to dive into. Obviously, we're going to go over the weekly shows. Obviously, we're going to go over Charlotte Flair's stupid comments. We're going to go over the releases, actually. That's going to be the first topic that I'm going to talk about. But first things first, I actually want to get a little serious. I want to get a little serious here because I want to extend my thoughts and prayers to Jessie Davin, a.k.a. Jessie the Buckeye. She is currently in the hospital right now. She had 8 feet of her colon removed. And let me tell you something. The fact that she is continuing to move forward and she's doing her best to stay positive during a time like this, and she is doing everything in her power to get back to 100%, even though her life is never going to be the same ever again after having 8 feet of her colon removed. It really does go to show you the determination and the willpower that Jessie really has. And let me tell you something. She has spoken to me here and there sporadically. She has offered me her thoughts and prayers when I was going through a couple of rough times myself. Me dealing with an intestinal condition myself. I know firsthand what it's like to deal with all sorts of bullshit like that. I am extremely, extremely, extremely heartbroken that it has come to this for Jessie, but I know for a fact that she's going to make it through this just fine. So I definitely want everyone, if everyone can, send their thoughts and prayers to Jessie Davin, Jessie the Buckeye. She's an amazing human being. She's a beacon of light in a very dark world as we see right now. So everyone deserves love and appreciation, especially people like Jessie. We definitely need more people like her in the world. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Jessie Davin, and I hope that everyone sends their thoughts and prayers to Jessie Davin as well. Cameron Johnson, you absolute fucking scrub. Get the fuck out of my chat, you piece of shit. I'm trying to be serious here, and I'm trying to extend thoughts and prayers to an individual who's fighting for her fucking life, and you want to bring outside factors into what I'm doing here on my channel. Go to hell. Go to hell, Cameron. Go to hell. Unbelievable. Anyway, minus all that, I greatly appreciate all of you stopping by the channel. I greatly appreciate all of you hanging with me. I'm pretty sure we're going to have more people as time goes on. We're probably going to end up going till at least 5:30 because, again, lots and lots and lots of material to get through here on the LFU. But one announcement I would definitely like to make is tomorrow. Tomorrow is, of course, Sunday, November 21st, 2021, and Survivor Series is tomorrow. I'm going to be having Indigo Uchiha. He was on the rundown for WrestleMania about 7-8 months back, and I'm going to have him back on the channel once again. He is also a small content creator. He doesn't do it as frequently as I do it. He doesn't do it for as long of videos as I do it, but at the same point in time, he's a very hardworking content creator. He is a very intelligent wrestling fan. He's a friend of mine, East Coaster as well. So I got to support my East Coast people. So please be sure to set your calendar dates because he's going to be joining me on the channel to preview and predict Survivor Series. That is tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to bullshit, talk about the matches, talk about where the superstars could go from there. It's definitely going to be a fun time, even though Survivor Series is indeed a waste of a pay-per-view. Bob Frapples, trust me, I see ya. Survivor Series is indeed a waste of a pay-per-view, but me and Indigo, we're going to discuss it anyway because that's what we do here. That's what the content creators in the IWC do here. We are about 8 minutes into the chat. I don't really know what you're doing. I really don't know what you're doing, but if you have not already liked the stream, please make sure you like the stream. It is vital that you do so. We want to get at least up to 30 likes, at least. I know I set that goal every single time, but at the same point in time, I love to set these high goals for myself. I always like to outdo the previous video that I've had or the previous stream that I've had. So please, if you guys can, please make sure you hit that like button. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. Hit that like button. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't already done so. Share the stream out on all platforms of social media. I know that Ryan Renegade, he already shared the stream out on Twitter. I saw your notification. Don't worry. Please make sure you get as many people in here as possible. Share it out on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever social media platforms that you use. Get as many people in here as possible. Hit that like button, as I said, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notifications bell so that way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube, because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube, as of course. And yes, do not worry, because I got me the magic comb, as Earl Cole calls it, or Earl Cole. He's not here right now, but I'm pretty sure we'll see him at some point, because Earl Cole always drops in the chat at some point. You already know the drill. I actually shaved today, touched up the sideburn chin strap combination. I'm going to have to get a haircut at some point in time because my hair's starting to grow pretty long. Pretty long, I will say that. Thank you for sharing it on your space. your MySpace. I greatly appreciate that. I believe it's still a thing, but I don't think anyone uses it anymore, Mr. Ryan. But regardless of that, follow me on social media at @TheDJ_Storms. That is both on Twitter and Instagram. Add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, stormstakeover@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. Rob Wells Jr. is on there. Adam Carl, I believe, is on there. I do believe that Peanuts is also on there. I'm going to have to double check because, again, it's only for the elite. It's only for the elite members of the DJ Storms posse. And Rob, of course, he loves the legendary comb. He loves that legendary comb. I will be sure to check the chat after I'm done with the news, rumors, and reports. We are going to dive right into the festivities here. We got a lot to talk about, including what happened on Thursday. I was just chilling on Thursday, and all of a sudden I start seeing that Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. I'm actually going to take it easy on old Jonathan today because I don't really feel like I don't really feel like giving him a hard time. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just in a generous mood considering Thanksgiving's coming up. It is the holiday season. It's the season of giving. So, Jonathan, you can give me thanks that I'm not going to give you a hard time. Anyway, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful confirmed on Thursday evening that WWE released yet another set of superstars. 8 talent was released. The talent released is as follows: Tegan Knox, Jackson Riker, Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, Ashante the Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Top Dollar. It was also speculated that a lot of fan backlash towards Top Dollar's diss rap towards Jinder Mahal might have been the cause of Hit Row's release. Am I mad? Yeah, I am. But at this rate, it just happens so often that I just don't feel anything anymore. I don't feel anything anymore. I don't think much of it. At this rate, like I've already stated before, WWE is not going to stop until their roster is nothing more than skin and bones, if not already. WWE at this rate is in a stage where they just don't give a shit. They're either A, selling the company, and I've stated this before, they're either A, selling the company, or B, they're eradicating any and all independent wrestlers from their company, and they're going to focus on taking individuals outside of pro wrestling, people from football, amateur college wrestling, and baseball, and lacrosse, and hockey, and basketball, and they're going to bring them all into the WWE PC, and they're going to expect them to just take to pro wrestling like a fish to water. They expect these individuals to become WrestleMania main eventers in such a short amount of time. If you are taking individuals outside of pro wrestling, those individuals are going to have a much longer time developing into fully grown WWE superstars that are ready for a main event spotlight on national television, especially if you expect some of these guys to main event WrestleMania. Let's go one by one with these releases. Jackson Riker. I'm surprised that he lasted as long as he did. The only role that Jackson Riker succeeded in was when he was with Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake in the Forgotten Sons, which I don't even know why they even broke them up. And I'm going to say this right now. It's not because of the tweet that Jackson Riker put out there supporting Donald Trump. It's not because of that. It's not. Because if that was the case, then Jackson Riker would have been the first one released. But he wasn't. Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake were released long before he was. Why did they keep Jackson Riker? I have no fucking idea. But at the end of it all, WWE broke up the Forgotten Sons because they were straight out of Triple H's NXT. They broke them up for the same exact reason that they broke up the Hurt Business, because Vince McMahon woke up one morning and he decided, hey, I'm going to break up the Hurt Business. He woke up one morning and said, hey, I'm going to break up the Forgotten Sons, which I don't know why, because the Forgotten Sons were actually a pretty decent faction that could have added to a tag team division. I don't understand why you had the Forgotten Sons just break up after, 2 months, not even on the main roster, and they took them off of television for what? They broke up the Forgotten Sons and they took them off of television because they don't give a shit about tag team wrestling, and Vince McMahon just decided to wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to break up the Forgotten Sons. I'm going to take them off of television. That's pretty much it. Outside of the Forgotten Sons, there was absolutely no role for Jackson Ryker on television. And the fact that he was released now, again, I am shocked that he lasted this long. Where does he go? He probably goes to Impact. I don't see him going anywhere else other than Impact. Maybe MLW? I have no fucking idea. Who knows? Who knows if he even wants to continue professional wrestling? I don't know. Jackson Ryker's gone. Tegan Knox, another one. I don't understand how you release Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox was literally given 4 fucking matches on the main roster, not even. She was called up in a tag team with Shotzi Blackheart, which was completely fucking unnecessary. She was called up out of nowhere after she just returned to NXT at the Great American Bash of this year, and she was going into a feud with Candice LeRae, which I certainly didn't mind. You pulled her from NXT out of fucking nowhere. Put her with Shotzi. They had all but 4 matches as a tag team, not even 3 matches, I think. They beat the champions multiple times. They didn't even get a women's tag team title opportunity. Instead, you gave it to Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash. And then they split them up in the draft. Shotzi, she went to SmackDown. She now turned heel, and she's feuding with Sasha Banks, which, again, the heel turn's already a fucking failure. For Shotzi. And Tegan Knox, she was drafted to Raw. She did not even have one fucking segment, not even a 15-second promo backstage hyping up her Monday Night Raw debut. They just released her. How is it that you have Zelina fucking Vega, Carmella, Dana Brooke, you have all of those individuals on your Tamina Snuka, yet you opt to release Tegan Knox? She's absolutely going to AEW right there. Her and Ember Moon, they're only going to enhance that women's division. And by the end of next year, I guarantee you, by the end of next year, AEW is going to be touted as having the best women's division in the world. You got Britt Baker in there. You got Red Velvet in there. You got Thunder Rosa in there. You got Ty Conti in there. You got Chris Statlander. You got Ruby Soho. You're going to put Ember Moon and Tegan Knox in there, add to the division that's already developing. Anna Jay has wild potential. Jade Cargill has wild potential. Santana Garrett is now employed with All Elite Wrestling. She is a veteran of however many years, 10, 15 years. All of these women are now going to AEW, and they are going to become a force to be reckoned with. And AEW is going to be touted as having the best women's division in the world sooner rather than later. Tegan Knox is one of those women that you could build a fucking division around. She is one of the individuals that you could build a division around. Tegan Knox is a woman who had perhaps the most underrated match of the night at TakeOver Portland back in February of 2020 before the pandemic even began. That was on a show that had Dijakovic and Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor, the Broserweights, remember that tag team, versus the Undisputed Era. Yet you release Tegan Knox. You release Tegan Knox from a division that is in desperate need of help. The division is pretty much non-existent. The booking of that division and the booking of some of the stars in that division is just disgusting. It really is. Drake Maverick, fired twice. Last time he wasn't fired. That was just a fake report. This time he really is fired. Drake Maverick, they bring him back. Put him in a tag team with Killian Dane. You release Killian Dane, and it was only a matter of time before Drake Maverick got released too. I don't understand why you hire these individuals if you're just going to fucking release them. What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? How do you fucking expect anyone to be invested in your company? How do you expect anyone to be invested in anyone that you put on television if you're just going to fucking fire them? Listen, you're not going to get away. You're not going to get away with bringing in all of these amateur baseball or football or hockey or college wrestling athletes. You're not going to get away with only building them up as the next generation of talent. You're not going to get away with that. People see right through your bullshit. We don't want that shit. We don't want stereotypical big men anymore. This isn't the 1990s anymore. But at the same point in time, if you can't find value of someone like a Drake Maverick, especially when they had him in a tag team with Killian Dane, they could have been a great underdog tag team. Why do you even have these guys sign a contract? Drake Maverick is gone. Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne was in NXT. You called him up from NXT. You put him in a fucking Jason mask and black basketball shorts. You call him Slapjack, Jackballs, Jack Off. You put him in a worthless fucking faction, perhaps the worst fucking faction since the days of the Social Outcasts, if you remember them from a couple years back. The Social fucking Outcasts were actually more credible than Retribution. You can even believe that. They put him in Retribution. They did nothing with him. They take him off of television after they break up Retribution. No fucking plans for him. No fucking plans at all for him. Then he's working dark matches dressed as fucking... What's that fucking guy's name? What's that fucking guy that goes, Crocky? That's the biggest crock I've ever seen. Who's that fucking guy? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking watch animal reality television or some shit like that. I don't know who the fuck he was, but he was literally an Australian fucking cowboy. He was literally an Australian fucking cowboy working dark matches, and then they just released him. This guy should have never been pulled from NXT. He could have been a solid hand in the NXT North American Championship division. Shane Thorne, fired. Where does he go? I don't know. I can see him potentially going back to Australia. Maybe he goes to Impact. Ashante the Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Dollar General. No dollar. Top dollar. $1.99 for chicken nuggets at Burger King. $1 a bag in the produce department at ShopRite. AJ Francis. Hit Row. Listen, I don't advocate for anyone to lose their job. I feel bad for Ashante the Adonis, but let me tell you something. Swerve and Top Dollar, they had it coming. I'm sorry, they had it coming. See, they refused to listen to the people that actually gave a shit about them. They refused to listen to the people that actually cared about the growth and the development of Hit Row. They refused to care about the individuals that actually wanted them to succeed. The people that were saying, oh, Hit Row's not ready. Oh, Hit Row, it's too early for them to be called up. Oh, Vince McMahon is not going to do anything with Hit Row. Those are the types of people that watch and see and understand what the WWE has been doing for the longest time now. These aren't just people that just complain for the sake of complaining. I don't complain just for the sake of complaining. Absolutely not. I don't. I complain because I know what we are watching. I want better for the talent employed by that company. Isaiah Swerve Scott is a fucking mastermind in between those ropes. He is an excellent fucking pro wrestler, and he could easily be built up to be an underdog babyface, potentially fighting for the IC title, US title, maybe even a world title. He's that damn good. He's like a second coming of Ricochet. He's like a bigger version of Leo Rush. He's excellent. Ashante the Adonis, he's always been great. Then you put him with Hit Row, he actually has value. He has value and he has a purpose. He has direction. AJ Francis, he decided to go on social media and he got a big fucking head. He got a head bigger than his gut. And he goes, oh, stop comparing us to other people that have failed in the past. As if you don't know why they failed. As if you don't know why they fucking failed. They failed because of management. They failed because the people in charge, Vince McMahon, White Castle Pritchard, Johnny Five Packs of Cigarettes, Beaver, Bucktooth, Timmy Turner, Kevin Dunn, and Nick Khan, the guy that cuts people left and right every fucking 2 months, all of them, they don't know how to fucking book talent. They don't know how to book talent. They don't understand talent. They don't care as long as they are getting millions of fucking dollars in their bank accounts every day. We stood up for you and we wanted better for you. And what did you do? You blocked us. You blocked us. You cursed us out. You insulted us. And you acted as if you were fucking untouchable. You acted as if you were untouchable. And then I hear the story. I believe it was yesterday. Yesterday, I do believe that Top Dollar said that he actually called the office for WWE and they said they made a mistake after B-Fab got released. Now, listen, I respect Top Dollar in a sense of standing up for himself and understanding where they went wrong. I wholeheartedly agree with them there, and I wholeheartedly have no problem with him doing a diss track on Jinder Mahal because he was doing something that WWE failed to do, make a program interesting. But at the same point in time, you don't fucking have the pull to do that. You don't have the power to do that. Who are you? You haven't even been here for 10 fucking minutes, and you already think that you're untouchable? That right there is going to be the downfall of not only you, but your own team members and your friends. Top Dollar, they could have easily just released Top Dollar, but they made an example out of the entire Hit Row group. What happened? What happened? What happened? Top Dollar is a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. He got fired and he got made an example out of because he stood up to Vince. Now, at the same point in time, I do respect him, but on the other hand, he should have known better because he does not have the power to do so. One person is not going to make a difference, especially someone like AJ Francis, who doesn't have any fucking credibility as a backstage locker room leader whatsoever. People that are going to make a difference are people like Roman if they speak up, because he's been pitching that, hey, where's the Survivor Series build between me and Big E? Roman's going to make a difference. Rollins is going to make a difference. Charlotte can make a difference if she wasn't a selfish cunt. Becky could make a difference if she wasn't a selfish cunt. Orton could make a difference. Those are the people that are going to make a difference. It's either that or you all band together with a group of like at least 20 to 25 people and then boom, boom. They can't fire all of you. And if they do, their show's only going to suffer. We need a roster-wide walkout. But Top Dollar, he wasn't going to make a difference on his own. And that just goes to show you how naive and stupid he really is. Let this be a lesson to you, AJ Francis. When people voice their concerns and they voice how they are concerned and how they are apprehensive about you getting called up to the main roster and how they know that you guys are not ready and you guys still have a long way to go in NXT, maybe you should listen to us and keep your mouth shut because you just got humbled. You were disrespected? No, you brought it on yourself. Swerve, he's really no better because he really just showed you that he's a pussy because he blocked everyone just like Top Dollar. And right then and there, Swerve, he got a big head too. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself and being confident in your abilities. But when you and this mentality that you think that you're the best, when that blinds you from what is actually happening in front of your face, that is ultimately going to cause you to faceplant right in the dirt. That's going to cause you to fall right on your ass. That's going to cause everything to come back around and bite you. Everything related to Top Dollar. I mean, I can't say he didn't deserve it. Because at the end of the day, he was the cause of his own downfall. Top Dollar ruined the careers of himself, Swerve, and Adonis, and even B-Fab. Because I knew for a fact that B-Fab, she was not going to last. Because WWE never go forth with a manager. Unless you're Roman Reigns, he has Paul Heyman. Outside of that, they never go forth with that. They never give a group or an individual a manager so that way they could help enhance the act. They don't give a shit about their talent. They want everyone to feel the same. So yeah, it is WWE's fault, but at the end of the day, here's something for you. Aside from Top Dollar, Hit Row was released because they are trying to eradicate everything that Triple H created. Some people have even said that this is the reason why Triple H had a cardiac event and why he went into cardiac arrest and why he had like a quote-unquote heart attack, whatever it may be. He has heart complications. Many people are speculating that Bruce and Vince and the fact that they're killing everything that he destroyed, that's what caused him to get sick and get put in the hospital. You know what? I can't even say I disagree with these people anymore. I can't even say that they're wrong. Because at the end of the day, they wanted to embarrass Triple H. It was all rooted in envy and pettiness because of everything that Triple H did to upstage Vince McMahon well before AEW was even a thing. This stems back far, far more than just AEW coming into existence in 2019. This stems back 2016. Remember that TakeOver Dallas that Vince McMahon was backstage watching in that match with Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn, and the fact that that one match alone outdid everything on WrestleMania 32's card? You don't think Vince McMahon had that in the back of his mind? You don't think Vince McMahon was jealous of that? He knows that Triple H was doing it right. He just didn't want to admit it because of the fact that he has an ego problem. Nobody can defy the almighty Vince. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to bury every star that you created, and I'm going to fire them afterwards. We're doing it my way now, because I am a god, and you are a peasant. That's exactly how Vince McMahon operates. I feel sorry for them. I really do. Not Top Dollar, but everyone else I feel sorry for. At this rate, if you're still trying to come up with excuses to defend WWE, oh, they're trying to target a wider audience, or they're just cleaning out the unnecessary trash. Hit Row is trash to you. Keith Lee is trash to you. Karrion Kross is trash. Tegan Knox is trash. Mercedes Martinez is trash. Deonna Purrazzo, Black, Andrade, Murphy, they're all trash? Are you out of your fucking mind? And then people want to wonder why I respect nobody. That's going on. That's everything going on with the releases. That's everything going on with the releases. Lisa Marie, I greatly appreciate you stopping by for just a little bit. If you need to go and take care of stuff with your dad or take a walk on the beach, no problem. I'll be here. I hope that you have a good dinner, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you later tonight. Thank you for stopping by once again. You are fantastic as per usual. Moving on to my next report, and trust me, we're going to talk about Charlotte. We're going to talk about Charlotte, and you want to be here for that. You want to be here for the rant about Charlotte. So Andrew Zarian of Matt Men Podcast, he came out with a story about what the overall feeling is backstage in AEW. The tweet read, and I quote, spoke to someone within AEW last night regarding the pay-per-view. This came out last Sunday. Morale is very high with the locker room. The investment AEW has made in its future stars is paying dividends, end quote. I mean, no shit. That's what happens when Tony Khan does the right thing. That's what happens when Tony Khan builds new stars. That's what happens when Tony Khan focuses on doing the right thing and making superstars right before our very eyes. Nothing new there. I thought I'd just tell you because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it really just go to show you that AEW is doing it right. Great backstage morale, great ratings, great revenue. They generated $7 million in revenue, but AEW's dying. They're growing their audience. I love how people say AEW is not growing their audience. Where? And WWE's growing their audience? They've lost 3 million plus viewers on Monday Night Raw ever since 2014. Unbelievable. Fucking people. You people are retarded. Moving on. Von Wagner from NXT. He was on SmackDown last week. He made his debut as Adam Pearce's apparent bodyguard. Steve Carrier of Ringside News, he provided an update on what the plans are for Mr. Von Wagner. The tweet was sent out on Sunday. He tweeted, and I quote, "Let's get some exclusive WWE news on a Sunday morning." Von Wagner showing up on SmackDown was not expected. We asked about this, and we were told that Wagner is now Adam Pearce's new bodyguard. Wagner was brought to SmackDown because Pearce needed a bodyguard. He's a big dude. End quote. I certainly don't care. I don't really understand why there's any reason to care about Von Wagner as Adam Pearce's bodyguard. Matter of fact, I don't even understand why people are even trying to hype up Von Wagner at all. Von Wagner is a complete waste of time. So at the end of the fucking day, I don't fucking care. Matter of fact, this right here, this only bodes negative because now I have it in my mind that we're going to get another authority angle with Adam Pearce, which is not fucking needed. We already know how long the authority angle with Stephanie and Triple H lasted. That shit was unbearable. It ran its course after Daniel Bryan won the World Championship at WrestleMania. So at the end of the day, the less GM and authority figures that we have on television, the better. Focus everything on the talent. Enough with the authority figures. We already have Sonya Deville in a storyline with Naomi, and even that has run its course. They haven't evolved that at all. It's the same shit every week. Now we're going to have to deal with Adam Pearce, especially after what happened with Rey Mysterio on Monday Night Raw. Give me a break. I got some news on Lance Archer. Many people were concerned about Lance Archer. They were worried about him having a neck injury. Well, I actually got some news from Wrestling Inc. They reported that Lance Archer does not have a neck injury, and it is merely a concussion. This, of course, happened when he under-rotated on the moonsault, and he landed on the top of his head. He is currently now waiting to be cleared for in-ring action. Now, I am actually happy that he does not have a neck injury. That is very relieving. He was absolutely lucky to escape merely with just a concussion. I've had a concussion before. It's not fucking fun. It really is not fun. I could not move. I could not walk. I could not get out of bed. I had to sit there with a cool rag over my head for about 6-7 hours when I initially got it. A concussion ain't fun. So I hope that Lance Archer is doing okay. And I hope that Lance Archer, he makes a speedy recovery very, very quickly. He's a good guy. And he's a great professional wrestler. It's always good to see Lance Archer wrestle, and I really do hope that Lance Archer gets back into the swing of things sooner rather than later. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio described that the WrestleMania 38 ticket sales are not doing well. Really? No shit? Tell me something I don't know. He said that they are far from a sellout. They didn't make the price of admission easier either, especially considering it's 2 nights with a stadium of 100,000 people. He also said that the fact that the price of admission is not cheaper, that contributed to the bad sales. I want everyone to know something here. The The WrestleMania 38 ticket sales are not doing bad because they are expensive. They're not. They're not doing bad because they're expensive. They're not doing bad because of it being 2 nights. They're not doing bad because people are still afraid of COVID. They're not. I'm going to drop probably the most stunning thing on everyone that I could possibly drop. You know why the WrestleMania ticket sales are not doing good? Because the product sucks elephant cock. That's why the ticket sales ain't doing well. The product sucks elephant dick. That's why the ticket sales are doing poorly. Look at the ratings. SmackDown has lost half of their fucking audience from the initial debut episode on Fox. Monday Night Raw can barely keep the ratings above a 1.5 million. They can't even sell out their weekly shows. What makes you think that they're going to sell out a stadium full of 100,000 seats on a 2-night span? What makes you think that they're going to be able to sell out 2 nights of WrestleMania in AT&T Stadium when you have a shit product? More and more people are starting to wake up with the fact that they're releasing people left and right, with the fact that the reports are coming out that the backstage morale is low and people are getting fired, like I stated, and the shows are terrible. They're putting no effort into any of these shows. I'm surprised that the Barclays Center is more than half sold out. I'm legitimately surprised. I'm legitimately surprised that some people are willingly going to go to the Barclays Center for Survivor Series. There's been no build. WWE doesn't care. They're operating with the mentality, and I've been stating this forever. Oh, we're WWE. We can do whatever we want. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, more and more people are going to start to wake up to that. At this rate, you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see if anyone who's a content creator, if all these content creators, paid and non-paid, they stopped covering WWE. I'd love to see the ratings after that. At this rate, I would not be surprised if at least 500,000 or maybe even more people stop watching if all content creators just decided to nix the WWE reviews. I would pay money to see what would happen if all content creators just stopped watching WWE. But you know, WWE's making money. They're making all this money from Peacock and Fox and Saudi Arabia. We're making money. We got money in our pockets. We don't need to put any effort into our shows. My name's Mr. John Laurinaitis, and we are the richest man in all of professional wrestling. We are the richest men in all of the world, and we made all this money through the great ideology of people power. That's all I think about, money. No shit. The ticket sales aren't doing well. The show is terrible. Raw sucks. NXT sucks. SmackDown sucks. The only decent show that WWE produces is NXT UK. And even then, I am still having a tough time watching that because of the fact that all of the negative that comes from NXT Raw and SmackDown is starting to bleed into NXT UK. Just the vibe around the WWE product is ruining NXT UK for me. And NXT UK isn't even a bad show. I can't wait to see both nights of WrestleMania not sold out. I mentioned NXT before. WrestleVotes, they tweeted out an update on NXT possibly going TV 14. TV 14. The tweet read, and I quote, "Within the origins of this NXT 2.0 concept was an idea that the program's ratings would shift from TV PG to TV 14. Source confirms that that's still very much on the table, and USA Network is not opposed. If/when WWE decides to make the change is TBD." End quote. To be determined. I really don't understand why the TV 14 argument is coming up again. People, let me tell you something. People are so fucking delusional that they think that WWE needs to go into another attitude era. They don't. You take a look at AEW. AEW isn't swearing every 10 minutes like NXT superstars are doing. You hear a curse word every 10 minutes on NXT. And what happened with the reboot? What happened with the NXT reboot? The ratings are the lowest that they've ever been. They can barely peak 600,000. We don't need a curse word every 10 minutes, and we don't need women to wear more lenient clothing. We don't need Gigi Dolan and Mandy Rose to show off their ass every single time they walk out on television. We don't need that. You take a look at AEW, you don't see leniency on women's clothing. Maybe a Jamie Hayter, maybe a Ty Conti, but that's about it. That's about it. And you can't really blame the ring designers because, I mean, like, they got packages that'll break through any line of clothing. Let's be real here. Let's be real. They got packages, if you know what I mean, that'll break through any line of clothing. AEW doesn't curse every 10 minutes. Maybe we hear a bitch there or a shit there. But at the end of the day, they're not building their entire brand around cursing. We're not seeing AEW tread the line between TV-14 and rated R. At the end of the day, what NXT and what the WWE needs is a simple reboot where the centerpiece of everything that they do is professional wrestling. Build the product around professional wrestling. NXT, while Triple H was running it, was PG for how many years? And it was the most talked about brand. It was the best brand in all of the WWE for the time that Triple H was running it. You don't need TV-14. We don't need another Attitude Era. All we need is a serious, sports-driven product with serious storylines, focusing on wins and losses, putting people in the correct roles, and making professional wrestling the centerpiece of everything that you're building the show around. It is not that difficult. TV-14 ain't going to do jack shit. I'm not necessarily going to mind it because I don't really care what the rating is. I just want a good fucking show. And a good fucking show, that's not going to come with just a TV-14 rating. It comes with logic. It comes with severity. It comes with long-term storytelling. It comes with wins and losses mattering. It comes with professional wrestling. You are a pro wrestling company. Start acting like one. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair. Isn't it so fitting that I'm wearing a shirt that says "Danger, No Filter"? I literally did not plan this out. I just threw that shit on. I woke up one morning. I took a shit. I took a piss. I ate breakfast. I brushed my teeth. I did my hair. I shaved, and then I just threw on the first clothes that I saw, and this was one of them. How fucking fitting now, isn't it? Bob Frapples, you're going to want to hear what I got to say about Charlotte. You're going to want to hear what I got to say. While speaking to BT Sport, Charlotte Flair was asked about being difficult to work with and all the criticism she is currently facing due to her being champion again. So Charlotte Flair, she stated this, and I quote, "If I was a man, would it rub people the wrong way? No one looks at a man and goes, why does he want to be the world champion again when he's been on top all these years? Is it because I'm a woman and I have done it all and we have a smaller division? Charlotte is difficult because I stand up for what I believe in? That makes me difficult? If I was a man, I'd have big balls. I know how good I am, man or woman, I am the best." End quote. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm going to take another sip of my ice water. If I was a man, would it rub people the wrong way? No one looks at a man and goes, why does he want to be the world champion again when he's been on top all of these years? Charlotte is difficult because I stand up for what I believe in. That makes me difficult. Listen, Charlotte, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's this guy who's currently wrestling for a company called All Elite Wrestling. His name is Cody Rhodes. I'm not sure if you realize this, but he's being booed. He's being booed by the majority of cities that he goes to for these AEW events. He's being booed. He's being booed because people are sick of seeing him in a babyface role. People want something different out of Cody Rhodes, so they're booing him. Last time I checked, Cody Rhodes doesn't have a pair of tits. Last time I checked, Cody Rhodes don't got a vagina. Cody Rhodes is a dude. I'm not sure if Charlotte is aware of this, but there's this guy on her roster who's been employed with the WWE for roughly the same time that Charlotte has been employed with the WWE. His name is Roman Reigns. You know, he's the Universal Champion. He's the Universal Champion, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Roman Reigns used to be a babyface. Roman Reigns used to be a babyface, and he was pushed as the top babyface for a long, long time now. He wasn't always a heel. He was a babyface, and he was booed every place that he went to after he won that 2015 Royal Rumble. And WWE tried desperately. They tried desperately to get him over as a babyface. U.S. champion, IC champion, matches with Lesnar, matches with The Undertaker, matches with Triple H, world champion, Royal Rumble winner, sole survivor for Survivor Series, Universal champion, this and that. And they booed him. Why'd they boo him? Why'd they boo him? If he was a babyface. Oh, they booed him because WWE kept pushing him in a position that we did not want him in. We didn't want Roman Reigns as the top babyface world champion. We wanted Daniel Bryan. We wanted Dean Ambrose when he was there. We wanted Seth Rollins when he was a babyface. We wanted Kevin Owens. We wanted Braun Strowman when Braun Strowman was semi-decent. We wanted those guys. We didn't want Roman Reigns as a babyface. We didn't want him fighting for all of these championships. We didn't want him in the main event spotlight. Last time I checked, Roman Reigns has a dick and testicles. Unless I'm missing something. Unless Roman Reigns is a transgender individual. Last time I checked, he's a dude. I'm not sure if Charlotte Flair is aware of this, but there's this guy by the name of John Cena. John Cena, at One Night Stand, 2006, was booed out of the Hammerstein Ballroom against Rob Van Dam in the main event for the WWE Championship. They were chanting, fuck you, Cena. They were chanting, Cena swallows. They were chanting, you can't wrestle. They were chanting, Cena sucks. They were chanting, same old shit. Why were they booing him? Why were they chanting all of that stuff at him? Because John Cena was booked to a point where people were sick of him as the world champion. They wanted someone fresh. They wanted someone new. They were sick and tired of the same old Hulk Hogan 2.0 shit with John Cena. They were sick and tired of John Cena always winning. They wanted someone new in the spotlight. They wanted a new star to be created right before our very eyes. Last time I checked, John Cena is a man. But no. Let's pull the sexism card out of your non-existent ass because you don't have any valid information to back up your argument. I'm difficult. Oh, Charlotte Flair's difficult. Why? Because I stand up for what I believe in. What you believe in is Charlotte Flair gets everything and everyone else gets nothing. That's what you believe in. And it shows. It shows. You refuse to advocate for Shayna Baszler going over at WrestleMania, or it's not WrestleMania, at the Royal Rumble. You refuse to advocate for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey to just main event WrestleMania on their own. You refuse to advocate for Rhea Ripley twice. You refuse to advocate for Asuka going over and beating you for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 34. What you believe in is you get everything while everyone else gets nothing and the division suffers. That's what you believe in. So yes, that does make you difficult to work with because you're a self-absorbed cunt. I was literally going to give her the benefit of the doubt and just say she was retarded, but if she actually believes the shit that's coming out of her mouth right here, she's retarded for real. And all I can do is laugh. All I can do is laugh because if I don't, I'll break every piece of furniture in this room right now. It is unbelievable how unaware and stupid this bimbo is. It is unbelievable. And you know what's even more unbelievable? The fact that there's going to be people who are dumb enough to buy in to this bullshit that she spews. And people wonder why I say fuck Charlotte Flair and all of her supporters. Charlotte Flair supporters and Charlotte Flair fans are the dumbest individuals walking the planet today because they try every single possible opportunity to defend this woman even when she can't be defended. Charlotte Flair knew exactly what she was doing because it's the easiest thing in the world to pull out the race card or pull out the sexism card or pull out the homophobia card. I'm going to let everyone know, if you're pulling any of these arguments in a debate or in a conversation with anyone, your point and your argument is automatically invalid. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here. Charlotte Flair is one of the dumbest individuals on the face of the planet, and with these comments, she proved to everyone that she is a human piece of trash, trying to use sexism in order to justify her selfishness. It is unbelievable. And you know what? Whether or not she gets fired, I'm not sure if she does, but if she does end up leaving, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people are saying that she could very well go to AEW and Tony Khan could pick her up. We could see Ashley Flair in AEW. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm not going anywhere near this cunt. You know why? Because Charlotte Flair's ego is as big as the fucking Eiffel Tower. Everyone has an ego, but Charlotte Flair has never put her ego aside for the greater good of the women's division and the greater good of the company. And Tony Khan, he don't play favorites. He's given everyone an opportunity in the women's division. Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, Red Velvet, Jade Cargill, Hikaru Shida, Serena Deeb, Nyla Rose, Jamie Hayter, The Bunny, Penelope Ford, Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, Ruby Soho. Everyone gets equal opportunity, and you ain't going to get that with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair can't stand when she's not on a show or she's not at the top of the card. Nothing she said here was in any way, shape, or form valid. And it is unfucking believable. It pisses me off to no end that there are going to be people who are dumb enough to buy into this shit. I hate this woman. With every fiber of my being, I cannot stand this cunt. Charlotte Flair is a piece of shit. Enough of this sexism bullshit. Enough of it. I'm getting sick and tired of people using the same lame, invalid arguments to try and justify their point because they don't have any legitimate information to prove the individual that's arguing with them wrong. Charlotte Flair knows that she is a bitch. Charlotte Flair knows that she's selfish. Charlotte Flair knows everything. Everything that everyone is saying about her, people like me, everything that I say about her is 1,000% true. And she doesn't want to admit it. So what does she do? She pulls the sexism excuse out of her non-existent ass and expects people to buy into the bullshit. Let me tell you something. The minority of people might buy into the bullshit because the minority of people are fucking inept inbreds, but not me. The fucking inbreds that she has for fans, I'm sorry. They're not the majority. Charlotte Flair is an absolute fucking retard and a piece of shit. And I can't even formulate enough human words to describe to you how much I despise her. I loathe her and all of her fans. They are absolute cancers. Every single one of her fans are fucking cancers to the entire fucking wrestling community. If we could just eradicate all Charlotte Flair fans from the community, I swear to God, the community will be a better place. Son of a bitch. My fucking throat hurts, I swear to God. My fucking throat hurts. My fucking throat hurts, but I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this, and I appreciate each and every single one of you sticking by. Thank you, Rob Wills Jr., Danielle Wolf, Earl Cole. I appreciate you. Thank you, Bob Frapples. Thank you, Dee Dee, if you're still here. Thank you, Habicki. Thank you, Lisa. Hopefully you all enjoyed that rant. I needed to let that out. I've been waiting for a while to get that shit out about Charlotte Flair. I cannot stand the fucking woman. I cannot stand the woman. She's an absolute disease to the women's division. We're going to go over the weekly show reviews. We are going to go over the weekly show reviews, and we have a lot of material to dissect. I don't even want to dissect some of this shit. Fucking Monday Night Raw. Do you give a shit? Do you give a shit about the pay-per-view going on Sunday? Or do you just want me to skim through this shit? Do you care? I don't. Big E. Big E kicked off the show. He said, since becoming WWE champion, a lot of eyes have been on me. Let's get to the matter at hand. That's Roman Reigns. It was just supposed to be brand versus brand, champion versus champion, but you took it to a place we can never come back from. And now I got to beat your ass like you stole something. So he wanted Kevin Owens to come out. He wanted Kevin Owens to come out to bring his lying, treacherous carcass out there. Owens came out. He said, there's nothing more that I would love to beat the hell out of you, but let me explain something. You cost me my match against Rollins, and you questioned my integrity. I snapped because how could I not snap? I was never lying, but you said it, and everyone loves you, so that must be true. Every single person judging me for what I did. Perception is reality, right? Yeah, I'm a scumbag, and I'm about to break bad on everyone in the locker room, including you. And everything that happens from here on out is going to be your fault. Owens then walked away. Big E gave chase. All of a sudden, the Usos attacked Big E out of nowhere. They beat him down before Jay said Roman Reigns sends his regards. And RK Bro, they can get this work too, because we run it. Riddle then came out to help Big E. And the babyfaces stood tall. Sonya Deville then came out, and we get a tag team match. Rollins then came out, dancing his way to the ring, and that was it. I don't get it. I really don't understand. I don't understand why we need this. I don't understand who asked for this. I don't understand why we needed Survivor Series build now. Why did we need Survivor Series build now when you had how many fucking weeks? You had 4 weeks since Crown Jewel to build for it, and only now you're actually starting to build for it? I don't get it. It's absolutely fucking stupid. It really is. It's fucking stupid. But at the end of the fucking day, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. There's no reason why anyone should give a shit about this Survivor Series build. The only thing that I'm actually interested in is I'm actually interested in seeing how some of the matches would go. The only thing that we have to look forward to tomorrow is some decent wrestling. That's about it. I don't understand why we constantly need to have matches where nobody can lose. We have Riddle and Big E versus the Usos. This didn't even last 4 minutes. Rollins came in after Big E struck him. Rollins then came in and attacked Riddle, caused the DQ. Then out came Orton. He gave an RKO to Jey Uso, and we go into a commercial, and then we come back and we get a 6-man tag team match. Why is it that every single time we have a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown, why is it that we always get a match where nobody should be losing? Big E shouldn't be losing. He's the WWE champion. RK-Bro and the Usos can't lose because they're the tag team champions on their respective brands. Rollins shouldn't be losing because he's the number one contender. Why are we making matches where nobody can lose? Enough of that shit. And on top of that, enough of the shit where they book a match only for it to end in a DQ and then it becomes either a tag team or a six-man tag later on. Stop this bullshit. It is tiring. It is repetitive. It is absolutely fucking redundant. It's redundant. Rollins got a quick roll-up on Riddle to win the match. Of course, the tag team champions lose. So then afterwards, the Usos tried to get the jump on Riddle before Orton came in with an RKO. And Orton dropped him, and that was pretty much the build. That was pretty much the build towards Survivor Series. Good job. Big E then took Jey Uso, and he sent the message to Roman by delivering a big ending to Jey, and that was it. Who cares? Bianca Belair and Tamina. Still wondering why Tamina is still on the roster. Tamina, she is fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. So, Bianca Belair won with the KOD. Afterwards, Doudrop came out. And she goes, "You must be exhausted. It wouldn't be very fair to me to go down there and take advantage. But after Survivor Series, I'll be looking for you." If Bianca Belair, if she loses to Miss Doudrop, no one can ever say a fucking thing to me. Because Bianca Belair, like I've stated before, she is buried. Lost to Becky in 26 seconds. Failed to win the title at Extreme Rules. Failed to win the Raw Women's title from Charlotte Flair. Failed to beat Becky and Sasha at Crown Jewel. Failed at the number one contender spot. She is a failure, and it has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with Vince McMahon and the way that she's booked and portrayed on television. Bianca is buried. She loses to Doudrop, it will only further solidify that. Becky Lynch came out to address the crowd. She goes, "Here is what my Survivor Series opponent had to say about me last Friday." They replayed what happened last week with Charlotte on SmackDown. Becky goes, "Charlotte acting like she don't know who the hell I am. I'm the person who used to be your best friend and the person who gave you a shoulder to cry on, but I said to hell with your friendship, and I tore myself apart and rebuilt myself more than anyone else. I've made you so bitter you don't even like yourself anymore." A little bit of a shoot there. "I'll make you face your demons, and I'll be the person who beats the ever-living piss out of you." And if there's one person that definitely needs to get the ever-living piss beat out of her, it's Charlotte. But I hope Becky gets the same, because Becky, she's no better than Charlotte. Becky's on her way to becoming Charlotte 2.0. So she goes, "I'm sorry for interrupting this love-hate obsession." Liv Morgan actually came out. She goes, "I apologize for interrupting this love-hate obsession, but last week you walked away from me." Becky goes, "I left to give you a moment. Lord knows you don't get many. Remember what I said before I left?" So they replayed a Talking Smack video, and Liv Morgan says that she wants to take the title off of Becky. Becky goes, "Sorry for getting your hopes up. Some people have it, some people don't. And now that I'm back, you're not getting your grubby little hands on this." So Liv Morgan goes, "Big time Bex is a big time bitch." So we get a little brawl. Becky was sent out of the ring, and Liv Morgan held up the Raw Women's title. Nobody believes that Liv Morgan is coming out victorious. Nobody gives a shit. Liv Morgan is nothing more than an interim opponent, a little appetizer for Becky Lynch before we get to Becky versus whoever after Liv Morgan. Whether it be Rhea, whether it be someone like a Toni Storm. Maybe Toni Storm wins the Rumble. I don't fucking know. She should, but I doubt it. Nobody believes that Liv is winning. Liv is going to be a glorified enhancement talent for Miss Becky Lynch. And at the end of it, considering she met up with Ruby Soho at a fucking airport, I wouldn't be surprised if they release Liv Morgan after her feud with Becky is over. Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. I mean, all this match did was solidify the fact that Chad Gable, he's clearly not re-signing with the company. Chad Gable's clearly not re-signing with the company. It was a decent match, but nobody believes Chad Gable is re-signing with the company. Ford rolled through into a roll-up on Chad Gable for the win. That was pretty much that. Nikki ASH and Queen Zelina. Queen Zelina rolled up Nikki ASH with a code red for the 1, 2, 3. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. I don't. Rhea Ripley then took on Carmella. Rhea Ripley won with the Riptide. Zelina Vega then took the microphone, cutting her terrible English accent. We will lead Team Raw to victory, and Nikki will be at home with the losers. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I really wish they would take Zelina Vega off of television altogether. Why is Zelina Vega getting a spotlight, but you release Tegan Knox? Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. This was a very good match. Probably the best thing on the show. Best thing on the show. Absolutely. Very good match right here. So Owens was in control with a nice sidewinder suplex. That got a 2 count. Balor then mounted a comeback. Big tope con hero over the top rope. Coming back from commercial, Owens with a rolling senton from the middle rope for a 2. Balor then came back with a sling blade. Owens with a super kick for a 2. Balor then with a he then backdropped Owens on the apron. Shotgun drop kick into the barricade. Balor then got the knees up on the diving senton from Kevin Owens. Drop kick again. He went for the coup de grace. Owens cut him off on the top rope. He hit the stunner for the 1, 2, 3. Very good match. Right outcome. Give Owens a few more wins and then have him face Big E. Simple. AJ Styles and Omos. Still wondering why this tag team is still together, because they're fucking terrible together. Why is Omos still employed? Why? He's terrible. AJ Styles and Omos versus the Dirty Dogs. Omos absolutely destroyed Dolph Ziggler. Styles hit the phenomenal forearm for the win. Why isn't AJ in a singles capacity? And why is AJ in a meaningless fucking battle royal at Survivor Series? Rey Mysterio versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley absolutely destroyed Rey Mysterio. Hurt Lock. Rey Mysterio tapped out. Dominic came in to help his father before Adam Pearce came out with a microphone, and he says, it's my job to make sure we have the best competition. And he was left with no choice but to remove Rey Mysterio from Team Survivor Series. Austin Theory then came out. He attacked the Mysterios, and Adam Pearce goes, I like your style. You're the replacement. I'm wondering why Austin Theory wasn't there to begin with. Isn't this what Survivor Series is for? Survivor Series should be a platform for younger guys like an Austin Theory to get a big-time showcase in a 5-on-5 elimination tag team match. Why wasn't Austin Theory there to begin with? Raw was fucking terrible. Raw was fucking terrible. Who gives a shit? I don't. Fuck Survivor Series. Of course, I will be here, though, with Indigo tomorrow, because it's what I do. Thank you all for sticking by me. You guys have been fantastic all afternoon long, and we are far from over. We got a few more shows to go over. How you doing, Mr. Allen Holland Jr.? Please make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button. Share the stream out on all platforms of social media. DD with the facts. Raw equals sucks, but you forgot the elephant cock. Raw sucks, elephant cock. Thank you very much, Miss Dee for speaking the facts. We're going to move on to a show that was actually a very good show. AEW Dynamite was a very, very, very good show. Dark Order. The Dark Order was in the ring, and John Silver, Johnny Hungy, he introduced Adam Hangman Page. Page came out smiling. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it," as he won the world championship from Kenny Omega at Full Gear. He goes, "I didn't deserve it. I effing earned it." So he goes, "I'm the AEW world champion, and I'll do whatever the hell I want. So I want to celebrate National Cowboy Shit Day with you." All of a sudden, Bryan Danielson came out. He took the mic. He goes, "Congratulations, Adam Hangman Page. I'm super excited for this match, but to be fair, I'm a little disappointed that it's not Kenny Omega." And Page, this is where things really started to get interesting. Page goes, "Well, that's because I beat him, and I actually managed to do it in less than 30 minutes. So a little jab right there from Page. Bryan then goes, "When I won the world title at WrestleMania, I wrestled the very next day." So the Virginia crowd booed, and he goes, "Of course Virginia boos hard work." Page goes, "I don't see why we can't do this match in Virginia." Bryan then goes, "You're wearing cowboy boots and a terrible jacket. I don't want you to pull the excuse that you're not ready." Page goes, "Virginia is for lovers, but I'll still fight." The Dark Order then held Page back. Bryan goes, "They know I'd kick his ass. There's no way they'll let him go." And sure enough, they let Adam Hangman Page go, and we got a big, big brawl. This was awesome. Awesome. I love that Bryan is showing some heel tendencies. I love that. And right here, this really goes to show you that Bryan is so selfless that he has every intention of getting Page over as an even bigger babyface than he was before he beat Kenny Omega. Bryan knows exactly what he's doing, and this match is going to be great, and Adam Hangman Page, he's going to be even more over than he originally was. This is great. This is awesome. Bryan Danielson, he took on Evil Uno. Very, very quick. Bryan Danielson hit the Busaka knee strike, and then he locked in a triangle sleeper. Evil Uno passed out. Bryan looked motivated. He looked intense, and I love that. This is going to make the match with Page even more intriguing, even better. So Bryan then took the mic. He goes, "I'm going to kick all of the Dark Order's heads in. Hey, Colt Cabana, next week, I'm going to kick your head in Chicago." Excellent. So we get Colt Cabana and Bryan Danielson next week. Awesome. Awesome. Eddie Kingston was backstage with 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. They interrupted. He goes, "I don't have respect for you, Garcia, because you allowed two grown men to call you their son." We got a little shoving match, and then Kingston goes, "All I ask is for one promo without interruption. I'm going to go to catering." And next week on Rampage, next Friday on Rampage, we got Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston. Gonna be some good shit. We got Tomohiro Ishii and Orange Cassidy taking on the Butcher and the Blade. My God, I would not want to be on the receiving end of a forearm or a chop from Tomohiro Ishii. This was a very good match, very fun match. This was a nice showcase for Ishii, but at the end of the day, this was for nothing more than to further the Okada agenda, because we're going to get Kazuchika Okada in AEW at some point. So, the Butcher and the Blade, they isolated Orange Cassidy before Ishii came in. He lit up the Blade with a backdrop suplex for a 2. Ishii and the Butcher, had a nice back and forth. He absorbed the forearms from the Butcher. We had a nice superplex by Ishii from the middle rope. The Blade saved it. We had a tag to Orange Cassidy. The Butcher and the Blade caught him. We had a double stun dog millionaire. a kick to the Butcher and a satellite DDT on the Blade for a 2. We had a neckbreaker powerbomb, but Ishii saved it. Ishii tagged in, chops and punches. Hardy and the Bunny caused a distraction before Rocky Romero took out Hardy. They had a back and forth before Orange Cassidy dove onto the floor, onto the Blade and Hardy, and Ishii with a sheer drop brainbuster for the win. Very good match, very fun match, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the future holds for Chaos, because I know that Okada's coming. You'd be an idiot to think that Okada's not coming. Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida. This was a TBS Championship Tournament quarterfinals match. These two women actually told a very nice story. These two women worked very well together, and I'm very, very, very happy that we are getting matches like this in the tournament. This was a damn good match, a very nice story told. Nyla, she is good. She's always been good, but she's just not championship material. They had a continuation of Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida, which I like, and I do think that these two women definitely did a good job at making the tournament feel prestigious. So, fight started right out of the gate. Again, these two work very well together. Shida and Nyla, they traded strikes back and forth. Shida was in control. Nyla worked on Shida's leg. She stomped on the knee. The crowd chanted, "Shut up, Vicky." Shida then brought out a chair. Nyla ran over Shida. She put Shida on the chair. She went for a senton off the apron that could have absolutely broke Shida in half. Shida moved, and Shida saw Nyla crash back first onto the chair. So Nyla went back. She then went back first into the chair. Shida then hit Vicky with the kendo stick. Big pop from the crowd. Coming back from commercial, Nyla slowed the pace down. We had Shida coming back with a big crossbody to the floor. Serena Deeb then clipped the knee of Shida behind the ref's back. Nyla then went for a diving knee drop across Shida's neck. She got it, but Shida still kicked out. Shida then with a triangle choke. She had it in deep, but Nyla with a power bomb. She got out of it. Nyla went for a senton off the middle rope, but she missed. Jackknife cover, but Shida did not get the job done. Shida was then locked in a nasty fucking stretch muffler, and because of the knee that Serena Deeb clipped, Serena Deeb was the cause of Shida's downfall. So we're going to get another match between those two, which I can't fucking wait for. And Nyla Rose advances in the tournament. I don't see her winning, but I do see her as a woman to enhance either Chris Statlander or Ruby Soho. I'm going with Ruby Soho. But this was a very nice story told in the match. Very good match. Really good stuff. MJF came out with Shawn Spears and Wardlow. He takes the mic and he goes, "Cut my music, cut my music." So Shawn Spears goes, "Maxwell here would appreciate absolute silence." Maxwell Jacob Freeman did a southern accent. He goes, "Norfolk, Virginia." So mocking Virginia. He goes, "I'm the man who's going to start a bidding war in 2024, meaning that obviously WWE and AEW are going to bid over him when his contract is up. But I know for a fact that AEW is going to win that war." He goes, "I'm more over than your hometown horse, and I could take a big old cowboy shit on his AEW title reign. I deserve to be the next AEW World Champion. Nobody in that locker room is on my level." All of a sudden, we hear that guitar riff. We hear the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and out comes CM Punk. Crowd singing Cult of Personality, a beautiful thing. They stare at each other in the face. The crowd was chanting, "Holy shit." Crowd was chanting, "Holy shit." They didn't even say a word. So Maxwell Jacob Freeman goes, okay, hey, Maxwell. He put his hand out. Punk turned his back and walked away. Simple and effective. And it left us wanting more. left us wanting more. And this right here, this is going to be the catalyst that catapults CM Punk into the stratosphere of being that guy to help enhance others. Punk is going to be enhanced because he is going to be in the ring with someone who is that good of a heel, and MJF is going to be enhanced by beating Punk. And this is going to be the catalyst that catapults MJF to the World Championship. Whether it takes place at Winter is Coming, Battle of the Belts, Double or Nothing, or Revolution, don't matter. This is great. This was awesome. Simple and effective. Lio Rush and Dante Martin versus The Acclaimed. Caster with his usual raps. I love Max Caster. So The Acclaimed took it to Dante Martin with a double suplex to Dante on the floor. Dante Martin got the tag eventually. We had a tornado kick on Bowens, quick strikes, and an axe kick by Lio Rush for 2. Caster then with a boot to Martin, a spin kick to Caster, super kick by Bowens, missile drop kick by Martin. Everyone is down. It is absolute fucking chaos and pandemonium. We then had an AEW chant breaking out. We had a clothesline by Rush, or clothesline to Rush by Caster. We had the Acclaim to fame, but Martin saved it. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome." Martin with the double jump moonsault, and Rush with the final hour, and they get the win. Awesome match. I'm loving the tag team with Lio Rush and Dante Martin. It is going fantastic. Team Taz then came out. Taz congratulated them. Ricky then said, "We are patient, so if you choose Team Taz, it will be the start of a Hall of Fame career or a mediocre one. The choice is yours." I'm very interested in seeing Ricky Starks versus Dante Martin. I think that would be great. On Rampage on Friday, we had Darby Allin and Billy Gunn being booked for the show. We had Jade Cargill and Red Velvet TBS Championship Tournament quarterfinals. And then Bobby Fish and Adam Cole versus Jurassic Express. Next week on Dynamite, we got CM Punk versus QT Marshall, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson and Colt Cabana, Jamie Hayter and Thunder Rosa, and Cody Rhodes and Pac and the Lucha Bros versus Andrade, Malachi Black, and FTR. Looking like a good show next week. Main event was an awesome fucking match between Jay Lethal and Sammy Guevara. TNT Championship, Jay Lethal. He's a Jersey guy. He's from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I got to support my New Jersey peeps. So Lethal targeted the back of Sammy, which was taped up because of the Minneapolis street fight against American Top Team and Men of the Year. Sammy with a rising knee strike and a big Fosby flop. He hurt the ribs. He hit a shooting star press, but Jay Lethal got the knees up. So coming back from commercials, Sammy was hurting. He wanted to continue. We got a hockey fight. Lethal then with a pop-up on Sammy. We had Sammy with a standing Spanish fly and a tope suicida. We had a brain buster on the floor. I believe it was by Jay Lethal on Sammy Guevara. It looked brutal. So Lethal was laid out on the table. Sammy then went up to the top and he goes, "Oh, I'm crazy." He went for a fucking swanton bomb. Lethal moved. Sammy crashed and burned. Sammy was laid out. Lethal got back into the ring. He went for the Macho Man elbow. Sammy reversed it into a crucifix for a damn close 2 count. Back and forth we go. Inside out, gourd buster for a 2 by Lethal. Lethal with the figure 4. Guevara fought back. 2 big V triggers, turning Lethal inside out, and then he hit the go to hospital. Sammy retains the TNT title. Excellent match. Lethal is great. God, I love Sammy Guevara. It is going to be a very, very fun time to see Sammy Guevara continue to evolve. And whoever takes that title off of Sammy, they're going to be made men themselves. Good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent episode of AEW Dynamite. Thank you all for sticking by me. We got 8 people in the chat so far. Let me check how many likes we got. We have 18 likes. We are 2 likes away from 20. If you haven't hit the like button, I don't know what you're doing. Hit that like button. It's vital, people. It is vital. Let's talk about NXT UK. NXT UK, which was actually a good show. They are starting to put a little bit more effort into NXT UK. The wrestling has definitely gotten somewhat better on NXT UK. We had A-Kid and Sam Gradwell starting off the show. This was actually a great match. Sam Gradwell, listen, I know a lot of people don't really see too much in Sam Gradwell, but Sam Gradwell is a very good professional wrestler. He really is. He's a very good wrestler. So Gradwell tried to wear down A-Kid. A-Kid came back with a suicide dive, a big diving crossbody for a 2. Gradwell then came back with a big lariat. A-Kid came back with an armbar transition. Gradwell powered out of it. A-Kid reversed the diving clothesline into a guillotine on the floor. Gradwell reversed the guillotine into a butterfly suplex. A butterfly suplex on the floor. A-Kid made it back into the ring. Gradwell with a rolling elbow, but A-Kid just kicked out. A big STO, folding A-Kid up. A-Kid still kicked out. Tight armbar, and A-Kid wins via submission. Right decision here. Sam Gradwell really isn't going anywhere. I'm interested to see what they do with A-Kid, but this was a great match. Good stuff here by A-Kid and Sam Gradwell to kick off the show. In 2 weeks, we got a big match. It's Ilya Dragunov versus Rampage Brown for the NXT United Kingdom Championship, which I'm very much looking forward to. That's going to be great. I'm loving Ilya Dragunov's championship reign thus far. Aaliyah James, she took on Nina Samuels. Aaliyah James, really, she's all right. She won with a small package. Not really sure where this goes. I don't really care. Kenny Williams and Saxon Huxley. Again, nothing really too crazy. Just an enhancement match. Kenny Williams wins with the bad luck. Very typical. Next week, we actually got Jordan Devlin versus Mark Andrews. That's going to be a great fucking match. And then in the main event, we had Gallus versus Tealman and Rohan Raja. This was actually a good match. Good match between the two, but the main story was the ending. This was a good match, but the main story was the ending, and we'll get to that. So Tealman manipulated the joints of Mark Coffey, very Pete Dunne-like. Wolfgang then got the tag. He had a back body drop and a double axe handle to Rohan Raja. He hit a big splash to the back of Rohan Raja for a 2. We had a hip toss to Tealman. Wolfgang was then sent into the buckle. We had an Enziguri back to stabber combo on Wolfgang. We had an elevated DDT. Mark Coffey saved it. We had a double lariat by Wolfgang, a half Nelson by Coffey, but Tealman kicked out. All of a sudden, Charlie Dempsey, William Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, he came out of nowhere and attacked Joe Coffey. All of a sudden, we had a swinging neck breaker and a leaping complete shot by Rohan Raja and Tealman, a nice 1-2 combo, and they get the win. And Charlie Dempsey, he helped lay out Gallus. I like it. I don't know about you, but I like it. I like it. Charlie Dempsey in this faction, I think that's a great move. He's good, but he just really doesn't have that personality trait. I think that with Tealman and Rohan Raja, now you can actually start formulating something special. I think that's going to be great. That was NXT UK. Good show. Nothing too over the top or crazy, but good show. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking by me. We have 7 people watching so far. We got 2 more shows to go over. 2 more shows to go over, then we are going to get on out of here. It is going to be a nice, relaxing night for me, for sure. And then tomorrow, of course, we got the rundown for Survivor Series with Mr. Indigo. So do not miss that. SmackDown. Who gives a shit? Seriously, who gives a shit? Do you give a shit? I don't. Do you give a shit about SmackDown? Because I don't. The WWE product, especially after the releases, there is just absolutely nothing to give a shit about with the WWE product. And you could clearly see that the fans in attendance, they don't give a shit either. The Usos kicked off this show. They had a Throne in the ring. They were hyping up their match with RK Bro. They introduced Roman Reigns. They panned to the crowd. People were legitimately, they weren't reacting at all. They were just sitting there. They were looking around. They were on their phones. Nobody gave a shit. And you know what? I can't even blame them. But what I can blame them for is buying a ticket to go to the show. I don't even know why you're paying a ticket to go to the show if you don't care. No one gave a shit about Roman Reigns. And that's actually quite sad. It's quite sad. Because Roman Reigns is the best thing on WWE television. So Roman goes, you think I need this to show that hard work pays off? Hartford, acknowledge me. So he took the crown last week because he could. Xavier Woods then came out and he goes, those things don't make you a king. Kings do good for the WWE universe. You would look me in the eyes as a man so we could settle this if you were a true king. So he challenged Roman later tonight. Jay and Jimmy then started trashing the king attire before Woods came in. And Roman Reigns goes, I'm the one. And he smashed the crown as if it were a fucking Burger King crown. Once again, WWE, they take a big steaming shit all over King of the Ring. It doesn't feel important. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody gives a shit about King of the Ring. It's sad. Honest to God, it really is sad. They've done this with the last several King of the Ring winners. We had Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, King Barrett. His king attire was destroyed by Pac, a.k.a. Neville. We had Baron Corbin. His king attire was destroyed by Chad Gable. And now, Xavier Woods, his King of the Ring attire was destroyed by Roman Reigns. Nobody gives a shit. Roman's great. Roman's always great, but at this rate, Roman Reigns is getting redundant. He's getting repetitive. Roman Reigns, a guy like Roman Reigns, a champion, a top star, is only as good as the people that you surround him with. So if you're not surrounding him with people that are equally as good as him, then everything is just going to feel blah with him. And that's exactly what's happening with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns legitimately just feels blah. And it's not his fault. It's because WWE does not build up anybody else to help. So we get that face-off happening later. Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal versus Ricochet versus Cesaro. This was a match to determine the final member of Team Survivor Series since Sami Zayn was removed from it last week. Very good match. Very, very, very good match. Even for a Jinder Mahal match, it was very good. I will say that. So Ricochet, he's fucking amazing. I don't even know why Ricochet is not in a prime spot to be facing Roman for the Universal title. Coming back from commercial, Ricochet with a Hurricane Rana to Cesaro, off the middle rope, DDT and a shooting star press. Mahal with a gut buster, Cesaro with a swing to Mahal, round and round we go. We had a sharpshooter getting locked in. Ricochet then took out Shanky. Ricochet then with a recoil to Mahal and a 630. Sheamus with a bro kick. Cesaro saved it. All of a sudden, Ridge Holland came out to distract Cesaro, and we get a bro kick to Cesaro, and Sheamus moves on to Survivor Series. Very good match. Sheamus moves on to Survivor Series, but I don't give a shit. Why? Because there's nothing to give a shit about the WWE product. Adam Pearce was talking to Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. He said that he wanted SmackDown to win, but let me get this straight. Now you're saying you want SmackDown to win, but weren't you on Monday Night Raw saying a few weeks ago that you wanted Raw to win? And then Adam Pearce, he has the audacity to come out and saying, oh, he's trying to motivate. He comes out on social media and says, oh, I'm trying to motivate the superstars. The superstars are fighting for nothing. They're not fighting for anything. So what exactly are they motivated to fight for? For your approval? Absolutely fucking illogical as shit. So we get a match between Madcap Moss and Jeff Hardy. Aaliyah and Naomi versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. We get a shaky count. The referee with a fast count, and Naomi is screwed again. I don't give a shit. It's the same shit each and every single week. When is the payoff here for Naomi? It's been the same shit for God knows how long. What has it been, about 2 months now? And we're still in a stagnant position? Nobody gives a shit. Madcap Moss versus Jeff Hardy. Drew McIntyre came out to support Jeff Hardy. Hardy rolled up Moss for the win. Claymore by Drew to Corbin. Glasgow kiss to Moss, and a swanton bomb by Jeff Hardy. Who gives a shit? Angel Garza versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This went 2 minutes. Kinshasa in 2 minutes to Angel Garza. I mean, hey, you got to build up Nakamura somehow, right? Terrible booking. Shotzi Blackheart, not just Shotzi, Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi Blackheart versus Miss Sasha Banks. So, this was a decent match. Sasha Banks is always good at what she does. Sasha's always good at what she does. Very, very happy that Sasha is getting to go out there and really kill it with a woman like Shotzi. Shotzi is absolutely a future pillar for the division, but she's heel for no apparent reason. So, excuse me. The cold is absolutely killing me. These allergies, I swear to God. So, Shotzi stomped on Sasha Banks' arm. She stomped it into the steel steps. So, coming back from commercial, Sasha with a diving meteor for a 2. Shotzi then with sliced bread number 2. Sasha kicked out. Shotzi then called Sasha trash. Shotzi with the ball pit. The ball pit senton. Sasha rolled out of the ring. Back into the ring. Banks with a modified bank statement. Shotzi literally tapped out in mere seconds. Listen, this was a decent match, but this was the wrong winner. So at the end of the day, you pretty much destroyed everything that Shotzi's heel turn had. You pretty much destroyed any type of little momentum that Shotzi's heel turn had. Who cares? Main event segment on SmackDown. Woods came out to stand face-to-face with Roman. He called him out. Reigns answered the call. Heyman then motioned for the Usos before the Usos were then thrown out on the stage. Big E then came out. And Big E, he ran down to the ring, or he ran down the ramp. Him and Roman had a big brawl before the Usos came in to try and aid Roman Reigns after Woods and Big E were beating him down. Then all of a sudden we had Big E delivering a big ending to Jimmy and Jay. Roman was just able to escape. Big E stood tall. And that was your Survivor Series build. Definitely a little stuffed up today. Must be a cold. Could be allergies. Whatever it may be. SmackDown sucked. I think SmackDown's actually making me sick. If I'm going to be quite honest here. So that was SmackDown. I didn't give a shit. Hula Grim, I'm glad that you joined. Dee Dee wants me to give her godfather Dre a shout out. Shout out to Dee Dee's godfather, Dre. I'm not sure if he's watching or not, but shout out to him. Just a little something for Dee Dee because she is a wonderful human being. Anyway. SmackDown sucked. I don't give a shit about Survivor Series, but me and Indigo will be here talking about the show regardless. Rampage. I'll tell you what, Rampage is actually a pretty solid show. And I'm very, very happy that they are starting to put a little bit more effort into Rampage. Darby Allin and Billy Gunn, they kicked off the show. Let me tell you something. Billy Gunn looks great. I am legitimately shocked that Billy Gunn is able to stay in such good shape at 58 years old. I want to be in that shape at 58 years old. So, Billy Gunn with a pop-up back body drop. He sent Darby Allin into orbit. He was high up in the air. He was tossing Darby around. Darby came back with a suicide dive, but Billy sidestepped it. Billy then remained in control, coming back from commercial. Darby fought back. We had a coffin drop on the Gun Club, a stunner to Billy Gunn, a code red, and 2 coffin drops, and Darby Allin got the win. Afterwards, Billy and his sons, they then attacked Darby and Sting. So I'm assuming that we're going to get a tag team match at some point between these two teams. Probably at Winter is Coming. Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet. This was for the TBS Championship Tournament quarterfinals, seeing who was going to advance. This was a pretty decent match. This was probably the best match of Jade Cargill's run so far. Her and Red Velvet, they work very well together, although Red Velvet's best opponent was Britt Baker. These two do work very well together. I will say that. This wasn't a bad match, but Jade Cargill, she needs to get her timing right. She's got to get her timing right. Her moves are just fine. She can execute her moves just fine. She's intense when she needs to be intense. She has not injured anyone, so she's not a Nia Jax, which is good. All she needs to do is get her timing right. It almost seems as though she's almost afraid to throw a strike. That's my only gripe with Jade Cargill. She just seems like she's afraid to throw a strike at times. She's decent, but she's not championship ready. She needs to spend at least another year to 2 years developing. She's adequate, but she's not there yet. She needs to focus on her timing. Outside of her timing, for the most part, she has everything else down. She has a character. She can cut a promo just fine. Her promos are decent. She can execute moves just fine. She just needs to focus on her timing. That's it. I don't expect her to win, though. But this was probably the best match of her career. So we had some quick strikes back and forth. We had a fallaway slam by Cargill, a pump handle gourd buster for a 2. Jade then with a very nice-looking Uranagi. A very nice-looking Uranagi on the ring apron to Red Velvet. It looked nasty. So Red Velvet, she really doesn't give a shit. Red Velvet, she'll take a beating. Velvet came back with a wheelbarrow bulldog, double knees to the back. Jade Cargill then with a punt kick. Jade Cargill then with a very nice punt kick. Jade Cargill then she was on the receiving end of a backslide by Red Velvet. Red Velvet then hit a spear on Cargill, but she kicked out. Cargill then reversed Red Velvet's Just Desserts, or the final slice, and we get the Glam Slam, or Jaded, and Jade Cargill gets the win and advances in the tournament. Probably Jade's best match to date. I don't see her winning this tournament. She's either losing to Thunder Rosa in the semifinals, or she's losing to Ruby Soho in the finals. That's pretty much that. Next week, like I already said, we got Daniel Garcia and Eddie Kingston. That's going to be great. We also got Winter is Coming. Winter is indeed coming. And by the way, if you guys didn't pick up on this, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. They teased what is to come at Winter is Coming. Number one, they said that Kenny Omega defeated Jon Moxley for the AEW World title at Winter is Coming. That right there is a spoiler because we're going to get Bryan Danielson and Adam Hangman Page for the world title. So they spoiled that that match will take place at that pay-per-view or that special event, which I don't mind. They spoiled that that match is going to take place at that show. And number two, they mentioned that Sting debuted at Winter is Coming. That right there is foreshadowing, people. Because on December 15th, for Winter is Coming, we will see the debut of Wyndham Rotunda. Just watch. Just watch. Tony Khan knows what he's doing. He wouldn't just announce this event without a big plan. Think about that. Main event was Jurassic Express versus Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, the reunited Undisputed Era. Good to see them reunited. Pretty soon Kyle O'Reilly's going to be there. Don't worry. This was a very good main event. I love seeing these two teams fight. So Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, they isolated Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy came back with a big lariat, tagged in Luchasaurus. He ran wild on both Bobby Fish and Adam Cole. We had a tail whip kick into a Nelson slam by Jungle Boy on Fish. We had an assisted cutter on Cole for a 2 count. We had a roundhouse kick and a knee drop brainbuster on Jungle Boy. Tope con hero by Fish onto Luchasaurus. Adam Cole pinned Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy kicked out. Adam Cole and Jungle Boy traded strikes and kicks and punches back and forth. We had a big super kick by Adam Cole. Luchasaurus then with a power bomb. Jungle Boy with an elbow to the back of the head. Fish saved the match. And then all of a sudden the Bucks came out. They were acting all sneaky before Christian Cage came out there with a chair. He ran them off. Adam Cole left 2. And then we had a snare trap on Bobby Fish, and Bobby Fish tapped out. Jurassic Express get the win. I can absolutely see Jurassic Express challenging the Lucha Bros for the tag team titles at some point. I think that's going to be a great match, although I don't expect them to win. Pretty solid episode of Rampage. And then tomorrow, of course, we do have Survivor Series, but as of right now, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash update. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Thank you, Renegade Ryan and Rob Wells Jr., Dee Peanuts, and Adam Carl and Hula Grim. Thank you all. Please make sure you go back and rewatch it if you missed certain points in the show. Hula Grim, you want to hear about the Charlotte Flair rant. It's a big fucking rant. Go and listen to it. Of course, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Again, tomorrow is the rundown for Survivor Series at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Mr. Indigo Uchiha. Great to have him back on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash update. Thank you all. Stay blessed. Stay safe, everyone. And I'll be sure to see you tomorrow for the rundown. Until then, I'm out. Enjoy your Saturday.